In the name of Allah, the most loving and caring. Assalamu alaikum dear students. Welcome to online class again. How are you all? I hope that you will be doing great. Okay students, this is our lecture number 16 of English. And the topics which are included in this lecture are, first of all, from English we shall do chapter number 4. We have to start chapter number 4 and exhibition, and we shall do translation of page number 20. Then after it we shall do active passive voice and we shall do the introduction of all present tenses. First of all, we shall start chapter number 4 and exhibition, and we shall do the translation of this chapter of page number 20. These are the meanings of first portion. You have to write them on your book. Exhibition, नुमाइश, asked, पूछा, enjoy, लुत्फानंदोज, yesterday, कल, went up, खड़े हुए, said, कहा, like, पसंद, stood up, खड़ा हुआ, liked, अच्छी लगी, beautiful, खूबसूरत, hobby, मशगला, good collection, बड़ा ज़ख़ीरा, my own, मेरी अपनी, रॉक्स, चट्टाने, बेस्ट, सबसे ज्यादा, कलेक्ट, इकट्ठी करना, चाइल्डहुड, बचपन, नेवर, कभी नहीं, एप्रिशिएटेड, तारीफ, रिस्पॉन्स, रद्द-ए-अमल, रीजन, वजह, प्रोबेबली, शायद. You have to write these meaning on your book. Here is the first portion of chapter number 4. I first of all read the portion, then I will explain the sentences one by one. Mr. Kazi was standing before his class. Mr. Kazi asked, "Did you enjoy exhibition yesterday?" All hands went up to say yes. "Good," said Mr. Kazi. "What did you like best in the exhibition, Akbar?" Akbar stood up and said, "I like paintings the best, sir. They looked so beautiful." "Why did you like the paintings, Akbar?" "Painting is my hobby and I have a good collection of paintings of my own." Rizwan stood up next. "I like the rocks best. You see, I collect rocks too. I have been doing so since my childhood. It is my hobby, but the rocks there I had never seen before." Mr. Kazi appreciated Rizwan's response. The reason is that the rocks in the exhibition had come from all over the world, and the rocks that you have in your collection were probably found near your own house. Now I will explain each sentence one by one. Mr. Kazi was standing. Mr. Kazi खड़े थे before his class, अपनी जमात के सामने. Here is the meaning of before is सामने. So the sentence will be Mr. Kazi अपनी जमात के सामने खड़े थे. Mr. Kazi asked, Mr. Kazi ने पूछा, Did you enjoy? क्या आप लुत्फानंदोज हुए? Exhibition, नुमाइश. Yesterday, कल. Mr. Kazi ने पूछा, क्या आप कल नुमाइश से लुत्फानंदोज हुए? All hands, तमाम हाथ, went up, खड़े हुए, to say yes, हाँ कहने के लिए. तमाम हाथ हाँ कहने के लिए खड़े हुए. Good, बहुत अच्छा. Said Mr. Kazi, Mr. Kazi ने कहा. बहुत अच्छा, Mr. Kazi ने कहा. What did you like best in the exhibition? अकबर आपको नुमाइश में सबसे ज्यादा क्या पसंद आया? अकबर स्टूड अप, अकबर खड़ा हुआ, एंड सेड, और कहा, आई लाइक पेंटिंग्स, मुझे पेंटिंग पसंद आई, या मुझे तस्वीर अच्छी लगी. द बेस्ट सर, सबसे ज्यादा. सो द सेंटेंस विल बी अकबर खड़ा हुआ और कहा, मुझे तस्वीरें सबसे अच्छी लगी जनाब. दे लुक्ड सो ब्यूटीफुल, वो बहुत खूबसूरत थी. Why did you like the paintings? तुम्हें तस्वीरें क्यों अच्छी लगी? अकबर, पेंटिंग इज माई हॉबी. अकबर, तस्वीरें बनाना मेरा मशगला है. एंड आई हैव अ गुड कलेक्शन ऑफ पेंटिंग्स, और मेरे पास तस्वीरों का बड़ा ज़ख़ीरा है. ऑफ माई आउन, मेरी अपनी. सो द सेंटेंस विल बी अकबर, तस्वीरें बनाना मेरा मशगला है और मेरे पास मेरी अपनी तस्वीरों का बड़ा ज़ख़ीरा है. रिजवान स्टूड अप नेक्स्ट. फिर रिजवान खड़ा हुआ. आई लाइक द रॉक्स बेस्ट, मुझे चट्टानें सबसे ज़्यादा पसंद आई. यू सी, आप जानते हैं. आई कलेक्ट रॉक्स टू, मैं चट्टानें इकट्ठी करता हूँ. फिर रिजवान खड़ा हुआ। मुझे चट्टानें सबसे ज्यादा पसंद आई। आप जानते हैं मैं चट्टानें इकट्ठी करता हूँ। आई हैव बीन डूइंग सो, मैं ऐसा कर रहा हूँ। सिंस माई चाइल्डहुड, बचपन से, और मैं बचपन से ऐसा करता आ रहा हूँ। इट इज़ माई हॉबी, ये मेरा मशगला है। बट द रॉक्स देयर, लेकिन चट्टानें वहाँ पर। आई हैड नेवर सीन बिफोर, मैंने उससे पहले कभी नहीं देखी थी। सेंटेंस विल बी, ये मेरा मशगला है लेकिन जो चट्टानें वहाँ पर थीं मैंने उससे पहले कभी नहीं देखी थी। मिस्टर काजी अप्रिशिएटेड, मिस्टर काजी ने तारीफ की। रिजवान्स रिस्पॉन्स, रिजवान के रद्द अमल की। मिस्टर काजी ने रिजवान के रद्द अमल की तारीफ की। द रीज़न इज डैट, इसकी वजह यह है कि द रॉक्स इन द एग्जीबिशन, जो चट्टानें नुमाइश में थी, हैड कम फ्रॉम ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड, वो पूरी दुनिया से लाई गई थी। इसकी वजह यह है कि जो चट्टानें नुमाइश में थी वो पूरी दुनिया से लाई गई थी। एंड द रॉक्स डैट यू हैव इन योर कलेक्शन, और जो चट्टानें तुम्हारे जखीरे में हैं, यू हैव इन योर कलेक्शन मीन तुम्हारे जखीरे में है, वर प्रोबेबली, वो शायद, फाउंड नियर योर ऑन हाउस, तुम्हारे अपने घर के करीब से मिली थी। और जो चट्टानें तुम्हारे जखीरे में हैं वो शायद तुम्हारे अपने घर के करीब से मिली थी। सो दिस इज द ट्रांसलेशन ऑफ द फर्स्ट पोर्शन. Here is the second portion meaning. Everybody, हर एक, mum, खामोश, uttered, बोला, word, लफ्ज, all this while, सारे वक्त में, wrong, मसला, spoken, बोले, everything, कुछ भी. Now you have to write them on your book. Here is the second portion in front of us. First of all, I will read it, then I will explain. Everybody in the class said one thing or the other, but one boy said mum all the time. He had not uttered a word all this while. What's wrong with you today, Salim? Said Mr. Kazi to this boy. You have not spoken today. Didn't you like anything in the exhibition? Salim said, yes sir, I have been collecting stamps for quite somehow now and I didn't see stamps in the exhibition. Now focus on the translation. Everybody, हर एक, in the class, जमात में हर एक ने, said, कहा, one thing or the other, कुछ ना कुछ, but, लेकिन, one boy, एक लड़का, sat, बैठा रहा, mum, खामोश, all the time, सारा वक्त. सेंटेंस विल बी, जमात में हर एक ने कुछ न कुछ कहा लेकिन एक लड़का सारा वक्त खामोश बैठा रहा. He had not uttered, उसने ना बोला, a word, एक लफ्ज भी, all this while, सारे वक्त में, उसने सारे वक्त में एक लफ्ज भी ना बोला. What's wrong with you today? आज तुम्हारे साथ क्या मसला है? What's wrong, क्या मसला, with you, तुम्हारे साथ, today, आज तुम्हारे साथ क्या मसला है? सलीम, said Mr. काजी ने कहा, to this boy, उस लड़के से. आज तुम्हारे साथ क्या मसला है सलीम? मिस्टर काजी ने उस लड़के से कहा. You have not spoken today. आज तुम कुछ ना बोले. Didn't you like anything? क्या तुम्हें कुछ भी पसंद नहीं आया? In the exhibition, नुमाइश में. आज तुम कुछ ना बोले, क्या तुम्हें नुमाइश में कुछ भी पसंद नहीं आया? सलीम said, सलीम ने कहा, सर, जनाब, I have been collecting stamps, मैं टिकटें इकट्ठी कर रहा हूँ, for quite some time how, कुछ अरसे से. सलीम ने कहा, जनाब, मैं कुछ अरसे से टिकटें इकट्ठी कर रहा हूँ. एंड आई डिडेंट सी, और मैंने नहीं देखी, स्टैम्प्स, टिकटें, इन द एग्जीबिशन, नुमाइश में, और मैंने नुमाइश में कोई टिकट नहीं देखी. सो दिस इज द सेकेंड पोर्शन इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू. आई होप दैट यू हैव अंडरस्टूड दिस आल्सो. Now we shall do active passive voice, its introduction, its steps, its rules. We shall discuss all these in this portion. Before we have to start active passive voice, first of all we should know about the parts of a sentence. Actually there are three parts of sentence. The first one is subject. And what is subject? Who and performs an action. The person who is performing an action, the thing who is performing an action, that one is subject. For example, you clean your teeth. Here in this sentence, you is doing work, you is performing an action, so subject is you. Then there is verb, and the word which expresses what the action is done. The action which is done is known as verb. Okay, for example, you clean your teeth. Here is the work which is done is cleaning. So clean here is a verb. Then the third one is object. Whoever or whatever receives the action, the person, the thing who is receiving that action which is done by the person, subject, that is known as object. And the example is you clean your teeth, that your teeth is receiving an action, so your teeth here is object. Okay, subject is the person or thing who is performing an action, verb is the action which is has done, and the object, the person or thing who is receiving an action, that one is object. So you should keep in mind while we are discussing the active passive voice introduction. Now first of all we shall discuss what is active voice. A sentence is written in the active voice when the subject of the sentence perform the action. The subject, I have told you that subject is the person or thing who is performing the action, who is doing the action. So when the subject is performing an action, that one is known as active voice. The person or thing who is performing the action is named before the verb. The person who is doing work, the thing who is doing work, who is performing the action will be written at the start of the sentence before the verb. When the subject is at the start of the sentence before the verb, then it will be active voice. And what is passive voice? We use the passive voice when we want to emphasize the action more than the subject performing it. Here in this passive voice, the action is more important as compared to the subject. The work which has done is more important than the person who is doing work, because the action is more important in passive voice. It means that when the emphasis is on action, the main thing is action in the passive voice. Now we will revise the pronouns, the subjective case and the objective case. The subjective case is on the left side and the objective case is on the right side. The objective case of he is him, the objective case of she is her, we, us, it, they, them, I, me, you, name, same the name. You have to keep these in your mind while you are doing active passive voice. These will help you to change the voice. Now here are the rules related to active passive voice. You should know about them while you are changing from active to passive voice. The first one is change of subject into object. Subject is the person who is doing work and object is the person or thing who is receiving an action. It means that subject will be at the start of the sentence in active voice and object is at the end of the sentence in active voice. But in the passive voice, we will use object at the start of the sentence and subject at the end of the sentence. So the first rule is we have to change the place of subject into object. We have to use the subject at the end of the sentence. Then the second one is use of helping verb. This rule is always different in all passive voice tenses. So you should know about the helping verb of different tenses. You should have to keep in mind that which helping verb is used in which tense. Okay, the third one is use of third form. We have to use always third form in all passive voice tenses. As I have told you that the helping verb is different in all tenses, but the form of verb will be same in all tenses. We have to use third form of verb in all tenses. Then after the third form, we have to use by always. Then the fifth one is we have to change the place of object into subject. object is at the end of the sentence in active voice, but in the passive voice we have to use object at the start of the sentence. So these are the 5 rules. These you have to keep in mind in a sequence. The first one is you have to change the place of subject into object. You have to put the subject at the end of the sentence. Then the second one, you have to choose the helping verb according to the tense, that which helping verb you have to choose, you have to use. Then the third one is use of third form. You have to use third form always in all tenses. Then after it you have to put by. Then at the end you have to change the place of object into subject. You have to put the object at the start of the sentence. Following the rules of active passive voice, this method will be in front of you. First of all, you have to put object at the start of the sentence. Then second point will be you have to choose the helping verb according to the tense. The third will be you have to use always third form of verb. Then after third form of verb you have to put by. Then at the end of the sentence we have to use subject, that we have to change according to the rules. Here is the changing of helping verbs of present tenses. First of all, you should know about the identification of active voice. Then you will be able to understand that which helping verb you have to use in every tense. First of all, focus on the identification. The identification of present indefinite tense is she washes the clothes. It means that there should be first form and ses in the present indefinite tense. So it means that when in the sentence there will be first form or ses, it means that it is in present indefinite tense. And present continuous, in present continuous tense there will be is mr and first form ing. He is washing the clothes. It means that when you are using is mr in the active voice, and when you are using first form ing in active voice, then it means that it is in present continuous tense. Then you have to follow the rules of present continuous tense. Then the third one is present perfect tense. In the present perfect tense, always we have to use has have as a helping verb. Then we have to use always third form of verb in present perfect tense. She has washed the clothes. It means that in the present indefinite tense there will be first form ses. Then in the present continuous tense there will be is mr and first form ing. Then in the third present perfect tense you have to use has have and third form of verb. When you know about this, then it will be easy for you to understand which helping verb you have to use. Now focus on the table. In the indefinite tense there should be do, does and first form ses. And then if in the sentence there will be do, does and first form ses, then we have to use which helping verb? We have to use is mr. Then in the continuous tense, when the sentence having is mr helping as a helping verb and first form ing, it means that it is present continuous tense. So we have to use which helping verb? We have to use helping verb is being, am being and are being. When the tense is present perfect tense, then what will be the identification? The identification is has have and third form of verb. And when there will be has have and third form of verb in active voice, then we have to use in passive voice with has been and have been. I didn't mention form of verb because we have to use always third form of verb in all tenses. So you have to learn this table before you are doing the tenses of before you are doing the active passive of all present tenses. I hope that you have understood the difference between the identification of all these three tenses. Here is the first and the fifth point of rules, that is changing of subject and object. First of all, I will tell you how we will change the subject into object. Then I will tell you how we will change the object into subject. The subject in this sentence is, first of all, there is sentence she washes the clothes. The subject in this sentence is she. She is doing work. So she is the subject and we have to change it into the object. We have to change the place of subject into the place of object. But we have to change the pronoun also, the pronoun case also. When we are using she at the start of the sentence, but we have to use the objective case at the end of the sentence. So the objective case of she is her. So we have to use the object as an objective case. She is her. You can easily see in red line that how we are changing the subject into object. In the first, at the start of the sentence there is subject, but when we are using at the end of the sentence it will be objective case. Now in blue color there is written the clothes. The clothes is object here. The thing who is receiving an action. कपड़े धोए जा रहे हैं. So the clothes here is an object. We have to change the place of object into subject. So subject is at the start of the sentence, so we have to write the object at the start of the sentence. One thing keep in mind that when there is any article and when there is any pronoun with the object, we have to take that also at the start of the sentence. So we have to take the also with the clause. So the sentence will be the clause at the start of the sentence. You can easily see in the blue color. So these are the two steps, first and the last, changing of subject and object. Now here is the second step. The second rule, you can say that use of helping verb. Here are three tenses in front of you. These are included in your first term syllabus. Active passive voice of these three are included in your first term syllabus. First of all, there is present indefinite tense. You have to focus only the helping verb. Which helping verb you have to use? First of all, when there is first form and SES in the sentence, for example, in the box of present indefinite tense, there is written she washes the cloth. Washes is verb here. The action which is done is washes. So washes is verb here and there is first form and SES. Then it shows that it is present indefinite tense. Now we have to write the helping verb of present indefinite tense, that is am, are. Now the clothes are, why we are using are here? Because the clothes are more than one. Clothes are plural, so we have to use are here. The clothes are washed by her. In the present continuous tense box, you can see that in the active voice of present continuous tense, what will be the identification? The identification is mr and first form ing. When these are in the sentence, when there is first form ing and when there is mr, then we have to use which helping verb? We have to use is being, am being, are being. So the clothes are more than one, so we are using are being. In the present perfect tense, the third box, the sentence is she has washed the clothes. Here is the identification has, have, and third form of verb. So it shows that it is present perfect tense. So we have to use the helping verb of present perfect tense, that is has been. So has been or have been. The clothes are more than one, so we have to use here have been. Clothes are more than one, clothes are plural, so we are using here have been. The clothes have been washed by her. In this slide, you have to focus only on the helping verb. In the present indefinite tense, we have used is mr. Clothes are more than one. We have selected are here. Then in the present continuous tense, we used is being, am being, are being. Clothes are more than one, so we have selected are being here. The third one, present perfect tense, the helping verb has been, have been we have to use, and the clothes are more than one, so we have to use here have been. One thing keep in mind that you will not write the helping verb of active passive voice. You have to write the helping verb according to the new subject. Which object we have to write at the start of the sentence, we have to write the helping verb according to that one. In these sentences, there is in the present perfect tense, there is she has, but in the passive voice we have to write have, because there are clothes and clothes are more than one. Here is one more rule, the third one in front of you, that is use of third form. Always we have to use third form in all tenses. So this is very easy step. You can easily see in these three boxes. In the present indefinite tense, we have used the third form of verb wash, washed. In the present continuous tense, we use the third form of verb washed, washed. And in the present perfect tense, we also use the third form of verb, that is washed. So keep in mind that we have to use third form of verb always, first third form of verb in the passive voice of all tenses. So this is the third step. The fourth step and the last one, that is we have to use by. We have to use by after the form of verb. The form of verb was washed. Now we have to use after the washed by. You can easily see in these three boxes. In the present indefinite tense, we have used by after the form of verb washed, that is by, because this is fourth step. In present continuous tense and in present perfect tense, we also used by after the word washed, that is form of verb. So this is the fourth step. Now today we had done, first of all, from English here we had done translation of the fourth chapter. Then after it we had discussed active passive voice very clearly. I hope that you have understood all these. Now I am going to end here. Take care. Thanks for watching. Allah Hafiz.